G'day guys, it's Bison here. Today I'm bringing you another video, quick update on the Blazing Deserts DLC. The perk changes we'll start off with first, and then we'll follow up into the other thing people really want to know about, the Retinue description. So we're going to get on with that. I've been granted pre-release access. You can see your favorite streamers on Twitch. I'll put my link in the description below. You can catch me streaming on Twitch, and that's where I make most of my content. So welcome to the channel. So let's start talking about the perk changes. A beta tester by the name of Turtle has posted on the Steam forums. He's a very valuable member of the community, has written a few guides and things in the past, and he's written up a changelog of all the perk changes, and I'm going to shamelessly steal his list. So let's start off from the top left of the perk tree. First change, fast adaptation has been buffed from 8% to 10%. This perk was generally only taken on trash tier brothers to set up daggers and basically getting an early return from men who just weren't very good. This has been buffed to 10%. I welcome that change. I think it's a good change. Crippling strikes has not mechanically been changed itself. It's still the same, lowering thresholds for injuries by 33% on HP. Cutting injuries have been reworked. Apparently they are stronger. I don't know the specifics of these. I haven't tested enough, and the game's releasing in a couple of days on the 13th of August. So I probably won't learn this until much later. We'll find out soon, hopefully. Next perk on the list is 9 lives. This is generally an underutilized perk. And it's used on some enemies. Necro Savants have it, so a buff to this is a buff to the enemy. So this saves your life if the hit's going to kill you. It will remove bleeding and poisoned effects now, so it will remove the damage over time. The next hit is likely to kill you for good, but improved defensive stats are active until your next turn. And what does this mean? Well, you get an additional 15 melee defense, range defense, resolve and initiative until your next turn. That's a big buff. Necro Savants, when they trigger 9 lives, are going to be 40 melee defense. Something to consider. Necro Savants are going to be very scary. A lot of these perk changes have actually made Necro Savants incredibly dangerous. On to the next one. Adrenaline has now changed. The fatigue cost is the same at 20. I have been utilizing this in the arena. It's a good arena perk. It now costs 1 action point. So it has disabled the use of Adrenaline and Recover together. This is a huge change. It's a big meta change because I heavily used Adrenaline Recover for Shield Wall, Spear Wall, Indomitable, getting into position, getting the turn order. Arguably it was too strong and something needed to change. There we go, it's been changed. I don't mind necessarily that this has been changed. 1 AP cost I think is fine. I think the Riposte Lone Wolf was way too strong, as we see in the speedruns, and something needed to be done, and it was the nail in the coffin for Adrenaline Recover as soon as I saw that, so that's been changed. Recover has not been changed itself, it's still the same at 9 AP. The next change is on Relentless. A lot of people really don't like taking this as a perk because dodge builds rely upon initiative to build defense. So the change here is that in addition, using the wait command will no longer give you a penalty to initiative in the next round. When you wait turn, you drop initiative by 25%. If you had initiative builds with Relentless and dodge, dropping your initiative drops your defense, so waiting turn is a bad idea. This is a buff. This lets you get surround bonus. This lets you get extra melee defense. I think it's a much needed buff to dodge builds, so I welcome this change. This change is a good change. To get an underutilized perk more heavily used. I am utilizing it right here on Razzle the Viper. I'm probably building a dagger overwhelm build on him with the Catal dagger. Okay, next change. Rally has been buffed. Instead of costing 6 AP, it costs 5 action points. This will enable the use of Rally with a one-hand weapon attack, enabling you to build Noble Sergeants. That's a fantastic change. It gives you more options with Polearm Mastery. It gives you more options in general, and it makes your rally more tactically fluid on the battlefield. So I like that change. That's a great change. Sword Mastery has been changed slightly with an addition of a new line. Gash has a 50% lower threshold to inflict injuries. The Scimitar is a weapon from the south, and you can use the Gash ability to do damage. Coupled with crippling strikes in Executioner, there's definitely room for a injury build coming up. I haven't worked out how that's going to look, but there's potential there, guys. So it's exciting. I like that change. Crossbow mastery has been changed. This now includes crossbows and firearms. What this means is, well, crossbows are unchanged, but handguns require 9 action points without mastery. With the mastery, it'll be 6 action points to reload, meaning you can shoot and reload in the same turn, assuming you have 9 action points. Okay. Next change, Headhunter. A big change here. Headhunter was generally considered a meme perk in Warriors of the North due to splitting damage between head and body being really, really bad due to the way how armor damage and application of damage actually works. Splitting damage is not fantastic to get to the HP and kill an enemy. So this has been changed. Hitting the head of the target will give you a guaranteed hit to the head. Also, with your next attack, connecting with your hit or missing with your attack will reset the effect. What does this mean? If the Necro-Savant hits the headshot, the next hit will also be a headshot. It's very dangerous. This makes Necro-Savants absolutely terrifying. So this could be a buff that we need to see, making it good for flails, making it very good for flails. Okay, let's talk about Fearsome. So Fearsome has been buffed here, and this definitely, I think, needed a buff. The way this works, if you inflict 1 HP point of damage, then you trigger a resolve check or a morale check on the opponent. Additionally, if you cause this check, that check will be taken with a penalty equal to 20% of your own resolve. So Razzle the Viper has 55 resolve, as you can see right here. 20% of 55 is 11. So if we are attacking a Brigand Thug, their morale check will be at a negative 11 to pass. This will enable us to better break the enemy morale, and it could lead to some interesting shield expert builds with a military pick and things like that, doing 10 points of damage guaranteed on every hit. So that's quite exciting. So let's talk about the last change. This change, I think, is, well, probably pretty heavy-handed. I understand why there has been a change made, and the change is on Indomitable. Indomitable has been changed from 3 AP down to up to 5 action points. This has effectively killed Indomitable on 2-hand Battleforged, guaranteed. Now, you can argue that you can use Berserk, you can get a kill, generate 4 action points there, and then use Indomitable. That's not going to be a safe or consistent strategy, and which means the Battleforged builds are probably going to be relegated to Quick Hands and Polar Mastery, sort of switching around. So it's a huge meta flip. I think this is very heavy-handed. I don't think it is necessarily a good approach to balance to completely obliterate a 6 action point 2-handed ability to use Indomitable due to the game having a lot of movement effects from unholds, Orc Warriors, and things like that, Chosen as well. So it's definitely going to change the meta. It's done one thing, and that's going to change the meta. I see literally 0 reason to build Indomitable on the 2-handers, and I will not be doing that. 5 action points Indomitable means you'll be considering, obviously, your shield expert or your tank and your duelist to have Indomitable. Don't know how good that's going to be. So that could be quite interesting. So what does this mean? What's my opinion on how the meta is going to look? I think the meta is going to be a quick hands meta, which we were starting to see in the speedrun community. There's going to be a lot of nimble dodge builds, and Battleforged is going to be relegated to the back seat until you get some really massive pieces of Battleforged armor. So Battleforged is going to be a true late game sort of thing. So it'll be interesting to see how we can manage and deal with the Chosen Unhold camps. Apparently they have changed. I'm not too concerned. The devs are pretty quick on the changes, so we'll just have to wait and see. And don't worry, we'll work it out. There's always a solution with the tools we are given. So here ends the first part of the video talking about the perk changes. Let's crack on with the next part of the video, talking about the retinue hires. Okay, let's get into the second part of the video here, which is going to be the retinue. You can find this on the top right here with the campfire. These unlock with certain renown levels. As you can see here, 750 renown here. I believe this one unlocks at 400 renown. So we'll take a look. These have prerequisites to unlock, and then you have to pay a gold cost to have them in your retinue. You can change these at any time. So let's go through them. The Negotiator. He allows for more rounds of contract negotiation with your potential employers before they are bought and without any hit to relations. When you negotiate a contract, you take a relation hit of 2.5. If you've seen my relations guide video, you will understand that this is not, this is actually kind of a big deal. So if you want to negotiate for more pay, the Negotiator is going to be the guy to go with. The way to unlock him is to just complete 15 contracts. It's very, very simple, allowing you to negotiate for better prices with no downside. Let's talk about the Scavenger. You need to have a heart. I am pretty sure that this is related to your reputation. If I can find the reputation, which will be right here. Our reputation is neutral. If we were raiding caravans, we wouldn't have a heart and therefore wouldn't be able to unlock the Scavenger. I like that change. I think the reputation system is generally not very well fleshed out yet. So it's good to see the usage of that mechanic. So he will recover a part of all ammo that you use during the battle and recovers tools and supplies from every armor destroyed by you during battle. When you destroy the enemy's armor, you will gain some tools back. The Cook will make all your provisions last 3 extra days. Going to increase the hit point healing rate by 33%. This guy is, this lady, is going to be a valuable addition to a nimble company heading out into the wilds, allowing you to regenerate your HP much, much faster because the regen rate of HP is quite slow. You will need to have 8 different types of provisions to unlock her so she is able to cook for you. Next we have the Minstrel. The Minstrel makes you earn 10% more renown with every action. You earn renown from fights, 5 renown a fight, 10 renown a contract, 10 renown a camp clear, 30 renown in an arena fight, 100 renown from an ambition, and there are other sources as well. It also will make tavern rumors more likely to contain useful information rather than talking about how someone's wife fucked someone else. You will need to visit all 22 settlements to unlock the Minstrel. Next we have the Alchemist. The Alchemist has a 25% chance of not consuming any crafting component used by you. Initially this was a reduction of 90% in crafting cost at the taxidermist. This has been changed. You'll be able to hold on to more crafting materials. It unlocks the snake oil recipe to earn money by crafting from various low tier components. I'm not sure how to craft snake oil, but I have an opinion that it'll probably be to do with the snake stuff that we've been collecting. And then we can be the snake oil salesman of the Battle Brothers world. Let's go. You'll need to craft 15 items at the taxidermist to unlock him. Next up we have the Brigade. This makes you see the position of some caravans at all times, and even if outside your sight radius. If we take the definition of some to include the definition of some in the game, it will mean you will be able to see 4 to 6 caravans at any one point. I'm not able to read the code, so that is my logical guess. Next we have the Cartographer for 2.5k. He will pay you between 100 and 400 crowns for every location you discover on your own. The further away from civilization, the more you're paid. Legendary locations pay double, so we're talking about when you're adventuring out into the world and you find a camp such as this, you'll probably be paid 100 crowns for that Orc Berserker cave, and further out into the wilds you'll be paid much, much more. Next up we have the Lookouts. This will increase your sight radius by 20% and reveals extended information about footprints. Whatever that entails, I am unsure. You need to discover 10 locations on your own to unlock him. We're working towards that quite slowly. Next we have the Blacksmith. Hero repairs armor, helmets, weapons, and shields worn by your men, even if their durability reaches 0. It also increases your repair speed by 33%. And you need to have had 5 items repaired at a town smith. If you are unaware, like me, you can repair your items at a town smith instantly. So it's quite a good tool. When your shields go to 0 durability, the blacksmith will be able to salvage the shield. So that could be a good way to save your famed shields that you oh so lovingly love because you get so many of them. Next up, we have the Quartermaster. He will increase the amount of ammunition you can carry by 100 and the amount of medical supplies and tools you can carry by 50 each. Great for wildland trips. You need to complete 5 caravan escort contracts. So he could be quite a good boy. Next up, we have the Recruiter. He makes you pay 10% less upfront for hiring new men and 50% less for tryouts. I don't think 50% less for tryouts is going to change my opinion on the tryout mechanic. I don't see much reason to use tryout itself, but the 10% less for upfront hires is a significant discount, especially when you're paying thousands of crowns for high quality men and you're looking for the perfect brother. You need to recruit 12 men to unlock him. Next up, we have the Drill Sergeant. He's quite easy to unlock. You need to retire a man with a permanent injury, so get yourself a slave, get yourself a cripple, get them eaten by wolves, and surprise, they come back with brain damage. Retire him, and he is now your sergeant. He makes your men gain 20% more experience at level 1, with 2% less at each further level. He makes men in reserve never lose mood from not taking part in battles. This guy will be a great way to get your new men trained up very quickly. I'm most interested in the Drill Sergeant. Next, we have the Paymaster. He reduces daily wage of each man by 15%. He will reduce the chance of desertion by 50% when bad things happen. And he prevents men demanding more pay in events such as Greedy Brothers and things like that. So you'll need to have a roster of 16 men, meaning that this follower will be unavailable to the Gladiator start and Lone Wolf start because they're limited to 12 men. So you will not have access to the Paymaster. Next up, we have the Surgeon. He makes every man without a permanent injury guaranteed to survive an otherwise fatal blow and makes every injury take 1 less day to heal. You'll need to treat 5 men with injuries at the temple. Not particularly hard to do, but the cost is starting to get up there with the Surgeon. Then we've got the Trader. He'll increase the amount of trade goods for sale by 1 for each location that produces them, like salt near salt mines, allowing you to trade at higher volumes. Could be a good way to make money an ethical way and to role play. So you need to sell 25 trade goods. Probably going to be quite obviously good for the trading caravan origin starter. So I'm not too interested in him though. Next up, we have the Agent. The agent will reveal all available contracts in the tooltip of settlements, no matter where you are. So you'll be able to see if there are contracts available in Brunenthal, and they should show up under there. That's quite useful. You'll get a lot of map information from that. Additionally, it makes good relations with any faction decay slower and bad relations recover faster. Currently, the decay rate and improval rate of relations is 0.25 relations a day, which means to earn 10 points of relations on a 100 scale will take 40 days. So this will make this recovery faster. Lastly, and most importantly, we have the Bounty Hunter. In my opinion, the funnest one. Significantly increases the chance of encountering champions. Champion encounters are pretty low on the world map. I believe they're around 1%. So this should significantly increase the chance of encountering champions. It pays between 300 and 750 crowns for every champion slain. You'll need to have 3 named or legendary items in your possession to unlock him. If you've got a map here that's loaded in famed items, you should be able to unlock him very quickly, and it could be fun to use him in a speed run for something, just to have some sort of insane gameplay experience, but should be good fun. So that brings me to the end of the video of going through the Retinue followers. That's all we have now. Now, as I said before, any of this can change. The developers have been changing things every day. There's been a few changes that have we've only just noticed and I've been streaming 2 days now. So hopefully this was good information for you. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.